It was your mini-budget that brought pension funds to their knees. Are you going to apologise?
Well, what we've seen today is the Bank of England do their job. They've made a targeted and timely intervention in the market. That's their decision, but they've done so working very closely with the Chancellor. What our job is to deliver the growth plan that we set out that's going to deal with some of the underlying issues of the economy. And remember, the first part of that was to give everybody, households and businesses, confidence and certainty this winter from the start of October at the end of this week about energy prices. That's the big overhang. That's what we needed to address. That's why we had to come out with that growth plan. And from there we move into supply side reform. Really trying to tackle some of these long-standing issues, whether it's access to childcare, making sure that that bypass near you gets built so that you can go to work and British businesses can be as productive as possible.
So do you acknowledge any culpability, responsibility for what is happening right now in markets, an almost unprecedented run on pension funds in this country?
Well, what's unprecedented is the level of volatility we've seen in all developed markets. I mean, the UK went into this with a strong balance sheet.
But the UK is an outlier. The UK is an outlier here in financial markets. You'd concede that at least.
We've got a very strong balance sheet. The UK has the second lowest debt to GDP ratio in the G7. The bank, as I say, has taken the timely action that it does. It's its job to regulate financial markets. And then what the government's got to do is to provide people with that confidence. So really big interventions to help every single household with the cost of energy. If we hadn't done that, Ed, just think about what the implications would be in terms of people's confidence and their cost of living this winter.
But for a lot of people, they're looking at what's happening in financial markets and they see a storm, that started with that fiscal statement last Friday. Do you not take responsibility for that?
No, we both know that we're seeing the same impacts of Putin's war in Ukraine cascading through things like the cost of energy, some of the supply side implications of that, and that's impacting every major economy. And just the same, every major economy, you're seeing interest rates going up as well. So as we go,
not to the same degree as in the UK.
Every major economy is dealing with exactly these same issues. And the Bank of England has made this timely intervention, doing what it should do, what the government should do, what the Chancellor and I are focused on is delivering that economic growth plan, which is ultimately what's going to help people. It's going to give people the confidence. It's going to create jobs in the economy and keep people in work so that they can make it through the winter, benefit from that protection in energy and continue to protect our standard of living.
Very last question. Do you have any plans to change your plans that you laid out on Friday, for instance, lowering the top rate of tax as the IMF is concerned?
We think they're the right plans because those plans make our economy competitive. At the end of the day, that's ultimately what we've got to do. What we politicians are responsible for is making the economic decisions that will drive continued growth. And you know that one of the things that's bedeviled our economy is our inability to reach that top 2.5% rate of growth. It's happened in the past. It happened before the 2008 financial crisis. We can get back to that, but we're only going to do so with the programme of supply-side reform that was embedded in the growth plan.
So no change, no acknowledgement that this was partly down to your...
So get on and deliver that plan. That's what I, the Chancellor and my colleagues in government are focused on, is getting on, delivering that growth plan. That is what's going to allow consumers to benefit, and in the meantime we are protecting every household and every business from the biggest macro shock out there at the moment, which is the cost of energy. We're protecting people from that.